Hi guys, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to look at this portulacaria afra lilliput. It's kind of been growing, as you can tell, and it's a little overgrown, and it probably needs a little bit of reshaping on the trunk because you can see under here, this trunk is kind of a twisty trunk, but with all the extra weight on top, it's kind of fallen over. So it's kind of going up and then off to the right. So I might need to get some wire on that and bring that back up for the design that I'm going for. But let's get it pruned up a little bit so we can see what's going on. And my first, whenever I have something that's kind of been shaped and it's just been growing, I just kind of give it a quick, or I don't know if you'd call it quick or not, but because I don't tend to prune that fast, I like taking my time, but I do a profile prune, just kind of a rough profile prune. I don't really get into a lot of the branch selection or, really looking at crossing branches a whole lot. When I'm doing this, I just kind of get some of the shoots cut back where they've grown out and then start really looking at the tree and do a little more detail pruning once I get this part done. But like this one here, I don't want to get too aggressive because, like I said, I want this to end up being a little more upright up there. So I don't want to cut too much off of there. Since I'm going to reposition it, it'll look different. So let's see. So I think, well, I've got these, let's see, it looks like I've got a weed here. Weeds gone, and I've got all these sprouts coming up off the bottom. So I'll go ahead and get rid of those just to kind of declutter it. Okay, let's see. We got this one, this little branch here coming off the inside of the trunk. Don't need that. Like I said, the goal is to have this kind of lifting up like, let me get my hand out of the way, kind of lifting up like that is the goal. So I think I'm going to get some wire and see if we can get that raised up and reshaped a little bit. We'll start off with this piece. I don't know, might need some, no, that's pretty flexible. This should work. Thought I might need a thicker piece, but we'll see if this one works. See where we're going to anchor it here. I think I need to go pretty far down. Might even stick it in the soil to anchor it here. Might need a longer piece of wire then if I do that, but we'll see if we can make this one work. So like I said, I just stuck it down into the soil next to the trunk just to give it a place to anchor in a little bit. And then we'll just wrap this around here. Try not to trap any of the leaves and branches in. Let's see. We'll go on the side of this branch. Make one more loop up here. And hopefully that's enough to, as you can see, it's anchored here and then roughly 45-degree spins up on the trunk. Yeah, I think that'll work. This one's a little bit, I'm not sure what I want to do with that. Let's just take some length off of that. Maybe that'll, if that grows up like that, which I guess I could have wired it, but we'll leave that for now. I mean, I could take that off because I still like the canopy we've got up there, and then it just kind of tapers down. Let me go ahead and take this back. Almost need to wire this guy up a little bit. This one's growing down. Move him. Yeah, I think I almost need to wire this branch. Cut some of these back a little bit. Because yeah, I think where it kind of S's over this way and then back to the right, I think if I get this one held up like that, it's going to improve the design. Yeah. Let me see if I can get, I think this same thickness of wire would probably work. So let's get a piece of it there. Trying to see where I'm going to anchor it. I think we might. I might be able to anchor it on this back branch. On the trunk once, and let's see. Don't really want to overlap the wire, but which I think we can still get in here and not overlap it. So let me anchor it on this back branch to get started. And let's see this. I need to go around the trunk here. There we go. Then when these branches are pretty small and brittle, I'm basically holding onto the wire and the branch, because the branches aren't rigid enough to use them for support on the wire, if that makes sense. So I'm basically holding the wire and creating the loop. So I think we'll bring it out to the front a little bit and then kind of bend it back and then up. I guess we can, I think it might look better down and then up. Yeah, I think that'll work. And we'll shorten this guy up. I think we can give a little bit more movement in that, bend him down, and then kind of swoop back up at the end. Yeah, I like that. I like that little swoop there. I'm going to cut the extra wire off of this. So it's a little pokey. Yep. I think that'll work. Go ahead and take some of these back. Yeah, it's got a neat little shape to it, I think. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens with this guy. Looks kind of bad hanging down like that, but actually I think I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of it. Because we've got this branch, looking at it from the front, that branch back there kind of fills that space in, also gives it a little depth. Let's shorten this front one. Maybe that'll kind of point up a little bit. Yeah, kind of like that. Give me something to work with anyway. Yeah, I like that. It just kind of comes up and then just kind of gradually goes up to the next layer. And I think that's gonna be about it. Just a few more of these up there. Yeah, happy with that so far. I think we'll leave it like that. I'll give you a quick spin around here. There's the front. There's the left side. There's the back. Right side. And hold. This one's kind of, get rid of that. Continue on. There's the right side. And back to the front. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.